All right, let's watch this.
I have to admit, I do wonder if there are people who actually identify themselves as white because it's so bizarre to me. Like, if you sit around with anyone, they talk about how they're Italian or Polish or French or German, and it's a great source of pride. Very rarely have I ever heard anyone say, I'm white. Like, I think I would be thrown if I got that as an answer. I'd be like, yeah, that's great. And what else are you? I do believe that white people are perceived differently in I guess the opinion that I don't think they're perceived at all. It's kind of like a chair in the room that's always just been there. Like, you don't take the time to notice it, you just always know it's there. In my mind, is really just that box. It's checking that box on the government form because literally that's the only time I consider myself that. After that, it's strictly I think of myself in an ethnic way.
Yeah, I like the response.
U.S. Census Bureau classifies responsible for writing a race of Italian, Polish, French, or German as white. Turkish too.
I guess some of them were fine.
I don't feel that personally I have benefited from being white. Again, just because I grew up relatively poor. My father worked at a factory. Factory closed. He lost his job. That was pretty rough for a while. And, I'm finally at a point at 27 where I'm actually making a good wage and, starting to kind of crawl out of that. My work environment's very diverse. It's a call center, and, in my row, the row that I sit in, there's 6 people. I think 3 of us are white. There's two black guys and a Puerto Rican girl. When you do things and make programs like affirmative action, you're still separating Black Americans. You're saying that these people are different and need to be treated differently. So as much as it sounds great and might be helpful, you're still focusing on the fact that they're different than everyone else. So I think that can in the long term be hurtful.
Okay.
Lamont, how are you white and poor? What are you talking about, bro?
What?
You can definitely be white and poor. Like the point that he's. Do you think poor white people don't exist? What the fuck? Jesus Christ, that's an ally right there, brother. Yeah, totally. Yeah, real ally. Like affirmative action is the real racism, actually, kind of. 52% of blacks born on the lowest 20% of income will remain in that category compared to the 33% of whites.
I don't see any, myself personally, of a race problem. I see a responsibility problem.
So hold on, pause it real quick.
People.
I just want you to remember that the one question they asked these people the same.
What do they say?
I'm pretty sure they just asked them to talk about like being white in America and just let them ramble, and they just like cut out like the most interesting part. So that's.
Oh.
I don't think they're being asked different questions. I think they're all being asked the same question.
Yeah, the whole problem is with what is your experience? Like, what is your white experience in America?
Yeah, and then like most of it revolves around race. Like even if it's not like I hate black people, it's like so a lot of them are like that. Some of them are like that, but most of it is just centered around like how they view themselves compared to other races, basically.
Which is interesting, actually.
Yeah.
What is this? We got some real Nazis in here now. Show them the clip of you saying the N-word. Do these black guys know you said the N-word with a hard R with little context? Show me the clip. Where have I done that? I would like to know. Look, notice how when the chat starts slowing down, the fucking Nazis start creeping in.
They come like
They're just like, now it's the time. I think you're mixing me up with another white streamer, I think.
When you don't support your own ethnicity from within your own communities, then you can't grow successful anyplace else. So I see that in the black community, that they do not support each other.
Oh.
And when there's a problem, it's always somebody else's fault. And then they'll say, well, the white guy still holds all the cards. No. It ain't the white guy, it ain't the black guy, Spanish guy. There's a lot of people holding a good hand in this country. It's what you do with it that counts. You can't point at the white guy anymore and go, hey, you're the one who's holding me back for 200 years. It's impossible unless you hold yourself back. So that's the way I look at it. Everybody's an individual to me.
I love these facts afterwards. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
It's like worst hair I've ever seen. I do not respect that man's opinion at all. Yeah, I mean that's you actively made your hair look that way. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Sriracha Sydney, stop sending the clip of echo fart sound effect, okay? I got it. It's not the clip of, you know.
Christ.
She just keeps posting that and be like, this is the clip of you. This is the clip of you saying it. So we can like click on it and it's the fart of sound effect.
I'm not racist, but whites work harder than blacks.
Oh yeah.
Your color means absolutely nothing to me.
Yo, my favorite type of person is the I'm colorblind person. It's like, yeah.
Are you now?
Human being, just like I'm a human being, and I just don't buy into the nonsense about discrimination. I mean, I feel that everybody's equal, and that's the way it should be. I mean,
I don't know if he's a doctor. He might just be a chiropractor. They love wearing fucking scrubs.
Worked the fields I've worked with, whether you be black, whether you be Latino, if you have it upstairs and you really commit to do what you're wanting to do with your life, I don't think that race really has anything to do with anything. You're given, your cards, and it's the way that you play them.
73% of whites believe blacks should receive no special favors to overcome inequality.
Bruh.
I thought it was colorblind. How can he have an opinion? Yeah, I don't know.
I do feel
colorblind.
as
Okay,
if people have preconceived notions about me being a blonde, cliche-looking white girl. I live with an African American. We do the same things. We live the same life. But I guess inherently there's never going...
That's kind of sus. But, like, I mean, I'm just saying.
We
like,
live the same life?
I know, but, like, saying I live with an African American?
No.
Like, why don't you just say you live with a black person? Like, I don't know.
There's a lot of white people that think that
black is offensive.
Black is offensive,
Yeah.
and the African American is the right word to say. It's really, I don't understand it either. But
all it is a dog whistle for black people to be like, oh, this person's probably racist.
But
It's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
Why would you even correct yourself? Why are you even
Yeah.
thinking about that?
So, like,
'Cause I'm
clearly,
definitely not.
whoever her housemate is not, like, she doesn't like her. You know what I mean? Because, like, she hasn't corrected her to be like, yo, don't say that. Yeah. Someone in my chat once asked me, are there any African American Turkish people? Like, as a substitute for black. That's how trained he was to say that.
Jesus.
Where
wow,
a
yeah, I just
person
thought
with
about
Yeah,
lighter
African American Turkish person.
skin completely understands what a person with darker skin might go through on a daily basis, whether it be as small as feeling like they were being glared at by somebody on the bus, or whether or not it was an ignorant comment that some stranger that they met might have said to them on the side. If that never happens to the other half of that couple, maybe there is always going to be a little bit of a boundary between what white people and African American people can understand about each other.
That's a self-report for all the white people in my chat. There's a lot of white people in here.
What did she even
It's
say?
just like,
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a self-report. What the fuck did she even say?
no. I'm
sorry,
telling
no.
the people in my chat, like, it's a self-report if you refer to black people as African American
Is it?
regularly. I feel like it is. You're
How?
being like weirdly overcorrective, and you think that it's like the polite thing to say.
Yeah.
Like,
It like
just say black, like black person.
At the minimum, it exposes that you don't really hang around that many black people.
And
Yeah.
don't say
fair.
blacks. Like that's another.
Oh, blacks.
Yeah, don't say that.
The blacks.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know. I feel like it's a weird. 75% of mine is not white. 70% of white Americans say their social networks are entirely white. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Okay, last one. This is the last
Whites
one.
might be hesitant to express their opinions about being proud to be white because one of the first things that comes to mind is white power and just racism in a negative way when it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, I'm proud to be white.
Bro, no, it 100% means that. No, like.
She's trying to figure out a way to like get around there. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of well-intentioned white people. This is kind of the cracker discourse all over again. But like there's a lot of well-intentioned white people that like kind of get duped by others who are doing this on purpose. It's very effective marketing, and white supremacists and white nationalists know what the fuck they're doing when they act like this, okay? If anybody tries to tell you like you as a white person are oppressed on the virtue of your whiteness, that's very sus behavior. You should absolutely be like, well, what do you mean? What's up with that? And that was the joke I was making on my last YouTube video where I was like, Twitch taught me, after this ban that like I need to preserve the white race, that I need to like defend the white race. How do you do that? If whiteness is a concept built around exclusion and purity and dominance, how do you defend the white race? You defend it by fucking advocating against miscegenation, okay? By saying you can't race mix, because that's how white people become a smaller group of the population when people consensually have sex with one another, something that white nationalists and white supremacists and separatists have fought against actively. You do that by stopping immigration from black and brown countries so that there is, less black and brown people in the country and white people are proportionally still higher. Okay? That's the only way that you can defend the purity of the white race, because whiteness is a concept built around dominance and exclusion. Okay? It's not a Stalin. It's just a brief, a brief synopsis. And she is duped in this circumstance. Like I don't know if she's like genuinely a racist person, like outwardly racist person, but she's like, why can't I defend, white people? Why can't I say white power? Actually, white power is pretty obviously racist. She probably is a racist. Let's be real. I was trying to be nice, but
She said, why can't I say white power?
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. She just looks kind of like she would be, she got the septum. You know what I mean? Like when I see the septum and like the fucking weird hair, like I just assume like this person's not going to be like a mega racist person.
I also don't know how, she did say racism in a bad way. I wonder what her takes are on good racism.
Yeah. Maybe she means the C word. Maybe she means like good racism is being racist towards white people. Let's run this back. Maybe I didn't understand.
To express their opinions about being proud to be white, because one of the first things that comes to mind is white power and just racism in a negative way when it doesn't necessarily mean that, I'm proud to be white, but I don't think that anybody should be not proud because they're not white. I think everybody should be proud of whatever they are. I think it would be wonderful if we could have a universal white culture that we could all bond over, as some other racial groups get to do. Being white is...
Bro, she's just jealous. Like, okay, just fucking, let your lineage be enslaved for like multiple generations, dude. Then you can have a shared culture that you create through that oppression and struggle.
I bet if you asked this girl what her ethnicity was, she wouldn't have an answer.
She would have an answer, yeah. She would be like, I'm fucking half English, half German.
Yeah, then why
like
doesn't
that.
she fucking dive into her ethnic history and dive into that fucking culture? What is she debating about this this global white culture that she wants to be created to be a thing? Like, that's just fucking stupid to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail on the head at first. I think she's just it's some kind of like jealousy or resentment because she sees like black culture has its own like identity, and she just wants to be able to be like, oh, I'm part of something. I'm part of this.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's just like, you know, the reason why that's like, you know, the alt to the regular is because like people that look like her dominate everything else basically. So she's like desiring to like come down basically from like the level she's at or something like that.
By the way, again, very dangerous territory when you fucking step into white identity politics, because that's literally what the fucking Nazis wanted as well. You know, create a collective, universal white culture. That's why it's a dog whistle whenever fucking Republicans say shit like, we need to protect Western civilization. It's like, bitch, what do you mean Western civilization? What the fuck is Western civilization, dumbass? Like, what is any civilization? It's like civilizations have never existed in isolation from one another. It's like a consequence of trade and war and fucking one another. You know what I mean? And immigration and also slavery as well and colonization. There's no such concept as like Western civilization that is superior to other civilizations or cultures. You know? Technically, you know, my people were fucking saving arithmetic and medicine while the Europeans were fucking dying because they couldn't wipe their asses. Like, it's a shared history that we all have. It's just how the world progresses. That triggers the Nazis a lot when I say that.
Yeah.
When I talk about like the Dark Ages, some of them will be like, that's technically that's ahistorical.
Ahistorical?
Yeah, like the Golden Age of Islam versus, you know.
What does that term mean?
The Golden Age of Islam?
Ahistorical.
Ahistorical.
You're historically revisionist. It's not how history happened.
Okay.
Like revisionist history, basically.
Yeah.
Roger.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I see that too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fucking rehashed, repackaged, fascist agitprop.
Is just as beautiful as being black or being brown.
America's unique in the fact that whites came here and fused their culture together to create a white culture. No, that's not what happened. What do you mean? What is white culture? Explain to me what white culture is. I love hearing from people when they talk about white culture.
I was literally thinking about this. I'm like, I wonder what this girl's answer would be if I asked her what white culture is.
Like, what is white culture? And also, white culture is a silly concept because you have to also ask, when is white culture? Because if you ask someone who white people are during the time of Benjamin Franklin, he's going to say only Anglo-Saxons. Okay? Only WASPs are white. Germans, Benny Franks thought Germans were swarthy and not white. He thought Swedish people were not white. He thought only English people and sometimes French people because he liked French pussy. Let's be real. That's the only reason why he was like, yeah, the French are white too. But other than that, no one else is white. Okay? You go back to the fucking 30s, Jewish people are not considered white. You go back, I don't know, you go back far enough, Italian people are not considered white. Irish people are not considered white. Polish people are not considered white. All of those ethnicities are now white. White culture is that little nod white people give black people. You know?
Yo, white culture is wearing glasses and NFTs. Is that what somebody said?
No, I mean, kind of.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that if you ask someone what white culture is, you're not going to get a straight answer.
Yeah, what is white culture?
You'll never get a straight answer. You just get a variety of like
hot dogs and NASCAR, brother.
You just get random shit. I don't think I've ever heard that question asked or anything like that asked and heard anyone give an answer that sounds like,
or that's consistent on a basis from person to person.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, what is a culture if it's not like consistent between its people, right?
Yeah, bro. It's honestly, because something she said in there was right. Like I don't really, or somebody said it, but from what I've noticed, I don't really think. I don't know. I don't really think white people as a whole think of themselves as a group like that. Like I don't think like it's all like one thing. So I don't know like what the culture would be because you wouldn't get all white people to agree on like what that is. Because white culture to some white people might be like guns and deer hunting and shit, and then to somebody else it might be going to Rodeo Drive. I don't know. Like
there is no white people that you can define without talking about what white people aren't, and that's it. It's, the only way that you can define what white people are is by what white people are not, and that is they're not black people, or they're not whoever they've decided, whoever the dominant in-group has decided is not a part of white people. That's it. Yeah, also don't say the C word, Chad. You will get banned. You know?
Yeah, man.
Except, Corinna doesn't agree with that, but...
Or any other color of the rainbow. And, we should just all take pride in whatever hand we were dealt.
72% of Americans identify as white alone.
This culture talk reminds me of a
I
mobile
haven't
technique line.
experienced a whole lot of the world and not a lot of
She has soda cans in her.
adverse situations.
Oh, that's what's up. Is that like an
Is that white culture?
Bud Light
outside
curls.
of any, common household
Fuck yeah.
trials. I really don't have a lot of black friends, but I do have a lot of gay friends, and that's kind of a similar.
You just didn't have to. You didn't have to. You could have just
trying.
not.
She's trying.
Yeah, I know.
Get my water, man.
She's trying.
Just let her finish, please.
She's trying her best. She's trying her best.
Construct, and when I first started hanging out with them, I would be conscious of if I ever said the word gay, and sometimes it would slip out and I'd be like, oh my gosh, are they gonna be mad? And the same thing can be said for any type of like fried chicken, Kool-Aid. I mean, come on. Like, you can't even talk about fried chicken or Kool-Aid without wondering if somebody's gonna get offended.
I mean, come on.
It's always like walking.
I mean, she already said,
come on.
She already said she has. She already said she has no black friends.
Like,
I mean, come on.
I feel like she is fucking just brick stupid. Like, no
this
one.
motherfucker has Diet Coke in her head. Of course she is, motherfucker. Come on, yo.
Oh, dude, that's good.
You just want to talk about fried chicken. Come on.
Oh, that's so stupid.
We talk about fried chicken.
Like,
That's what she's afraid of when she's around black people. That the word Kool-Aid is gonna come out of her
that's
mouth.
such
Kool-Aid
a
or fried
fucking.
chicken.
That's such a self-report. Like, it's just like. It's just basically an admission that that's all she thinks about when she's around black people.
That's fascinating. Bro.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, that's white culture. Overthinking what you can and can't say around black people is white culture. There you go. To the degree where like it can go either way. Either you're like overcorrective and a fucking weirdo that way, or just straight up racist.
Or you just letting it all out.
Yeah.
Well, what else you got to say?
Let's hear it.
You're
Yeah.
on
She's
eggshells,
spitting.
isn't it? I don't know. You don't know just where the line is.
She pauses, just says the N word, like in the end.
I don't know.
I just wanted to say it.
Nigger. And it's just and it gives like a stat at the end.
They just let her ride,
50%
you know,
of white
whatever.
people think that saying it should be no big deal.
70% of white millennial Americans did not grow up in families that talked about race.
Jesus.
Wait, 70% of white millennial Americans did not grow up in families that talked about race.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not
that
sure
makes
about
sense.
That I mean, I don't that sounds about right to me.
I
Like,
mean, it's just like,
just
you
some-
know,
yeah.
why would you? You're the default category,
Yeah.
so you don't have to think about that.
Makes sense.
I've
Maybe that's why-
always understood that too. Like even though like I understand the effect of it is detrimental to me personally, I also understand that like if you're just a grown ass white family, like what obligation do you have to like teach your kid? Like, you know, just imagine if you were like white, like you're put yourself in a white person's like you're like, why the fuck would I teach my kid about how to act around some black person.
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of racial conversations the 30% are having. 30%. 30% of the millennial Americans that did talk about race were talking about it very negatively.
Oh yeah, yeah. The rest of it is just like, not good.
Yeah, that's maybe it's best if they're not talking about it. Oh man.
What you want to know about them blacks, darling?
Yeah.
Come here.
We're going to talk about black men in general.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
we're running back.
Oh
Running
shit! Run it back. Turn it.
back.
Yeah. Go ahead. There you go.
If we're going to talk about black men in general, very beautiful people. So when you smile and you say hello, that's not an invitation to follow me, come to my door. You know, I have a convertible to pull up next to me. I don't, you know, I'm just being friendly.
Bro, there's no one. Okay,
Wait, what
that's
happened?
your fantasy.
What the fuck
Hold on.
happened?
You
Hold on.
fucking racist psycho.
Hold on, bro. Literally,
First, I
Who's
was like,
doing that?
look at this woman.
Who's doing that?
you feel me?
No one is doing that. You just
You talk about projection, dog.
no. It's like it's not an invitation, but it should be. Like, you know.
I thought this was gonna go somewhere.
I
Oh.
thought she was gonna have a
I
nice
would
little
hate
positive
it.
take on things.
Yeah,
I
just
literally
like,
thought it was gonna
it's
be.
like I would hate it if you held me down. Like, I mean, dude. First of all, the fact
man.
that she started out with like, oh,
Those
black men are
big,
beautiful.
Beautiful black men.
Yeah, she's
with
just
their
like,
beautiful smiles,
this is some fetish shit.
driving up next to me and rolling down their window.
This is fetish shit.
Oops.
Straight up.
I fell
Like,
and landed on his car.
yeah, this is
Oopsie. Wait, what she
this
gonna
is
say?
absolutely fetish shit.
You
What
know,
else
I
you
have a
got?
convertible to pull up next to me. I don't, you know, I'm just being friendly. I would smile to a woman or a kid or a dog in the car, any person. They take that as a opening to approach. And
That's never happened. What? That's no.
That's never happened to her.
First of all, she's from Minnesota. How many black people is she around in her neighborhood in Minnesota? You know what I mean? We're not talking
Yeah.
about Minneapolis.
Dude, this is like she's like a black cell. Where she's like, oh, those attractive, beautiful black men.
Not attractive. equals
Always
cancer
trying to
arrest.
talk to
Always,
me.
yeah, always trying to roll up next to me with the windows down and invite me into their car.
Just because
like,
I'm smiling at you and winking doesn't mean like I want to talk to you.
No, this is the 2021 more acceptable, or whenever the fuck this was shot, the supposedly more acceptable version of saying that black men are violent predators. That's just what she's like. She's going towards that meme. That's what she's doing.
Let's hear what else you got to say.
as I said, as a voluptuous woman, I don't.
She just
I
declared
seem
herself
to-
voluptuous.
They seem to gravitate that way to me, and it's just not comfortable.
nah, she's more
So-
like a bag of milk.
Do I call it prejudice that I don't like that? I guess
Man,
it is. in a
watch
way.
out.
I
What?
don't like that.
I'm just saying.
It's
I'm just talking figuratively. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about.
So
Well, I could have
It
said a
is,
bag
I
of
mean,
chocolate milk,
I
but I
don't
didn't
like
mean
that.
it like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
No, I know.
I'm afraid.
Okay.
You know.
She's afraid.
So
What's she afraid of?
More than 40% of white Americans say many or almost all black men are violent.
Hell yeah.
Son had
Yeah.
fucking flashbacks of getting grabbed.
Yeah, she's giving crime bill. Yeah, she is. She's giving crime bill vibes. She's being pretty crime bill right now.
Somebody, hold on, wait. I just called somebody. Said somebody asked her what does what do white men? Somebody said something like, "What do white men mean to you?" And this was her answer.
Yeah. Like, what is white? What is you know,
Like,
being
what is
white,
white?
mean to you? And she was like, well, you know, I hate it when the sexy black men.
Yeah, I
they,
guess like so
they
this
drive
is,
up next
this
to
is,
my convertible and say
this is
you're
like-
voluptuous.
This is like taken from like part of their tangent, right?
Yeah, they
start somewhere and then they
start-
get here somehow throughout
Yes.
that one question.
Yes,
Holy
they
fuck,
start
okay.
somewhere, and I think they take the best
That
of
is
it
wild.
and condense it into. I think the longer one is in the full thing. I think they condense it to like
It's still wild that it gets to this.
almost every time, or
It's still-
some
it's still
variation
wild
of
that
it.
literally like what's your white experience like? Those black men.
I told you, every single person,
Beautiful black men.
every single person they talk to that we've seen so far has mentioned race in some way, shape, or
Yeah.
form, whether it be negatively or positively.
But again, it's like it's a bit of a fucking. They're cheating a little bit because again, whiteness is a concept that you can only define by what it's not. Because that's what at the heart of it is the the one drop rule and.
I mean, white people invented the iPhone. Talk about that. You know what I'm
Steve
saying?
Jobs,
Like,
technically Syrian,
oh shit. Well, I mean,
even though he didn't fucking invent the iPhone, but you know what I
I
mean.
don't know. White people invented like planes and shit. Talk about that. There's so much to talk about. But like, they literally sat these people in a blank white room and asked them about white culture, and all only thing they can muster up is like,
Hold that bitch back.
The only thing you're most aware of is like black people are harassing me and like, convertible
right?
as a voluptuous woman.
These people are.
Oh
insane.
god.
What the fuck? What's this guy saying? She is voluptuousness. She is. It's annoying, dude. You have no fucking idea. Shut this down. Your take is terrible. Terrible take. You fuckers have no idea.
That was probably directed at me when I called her back.
Y'all got no idea. Shut the fuck up.
Dude,
What-
my
what-
bad.
this person is gonna be like, no. What's the counter to that? Are you gonna follow that up with like, no, you have no idea. Black people are predators. Like, is that what you're gonna say? Like, what the fuck? Where do you think you are, dude?
This dude is fucking troll.
Shut this down right now. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Listen, even if, first of all, obviously catcalling does not discriminate against like women that are attractive versus not attractive or whatever the fuck. I'm not saying that. But if you're singling out black people as like the main people that are catcalling you or whatever the fuck, well, you're racist. Like, what have you not been around white men before? What the fuck?
I guess she's never been catcalled by a white, or maybe she just lives in Atlanta or something. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, white guys are famously not predators. Exactly.
Alright, son, I got one more and then I gotta dip.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm so tired.
I don't feel a common bond where, like, when I see another white person walking down the street, I have to give him a high five or something along those lines. No.
What?
I do not feel a specific common bond with white people. If you were going to ask me, do I feel a common bond with Jewish people, then the answer would absolutely be yes. As a white person, sometimes I feel like that there are some things that I just do not understand and could not understand, no matter how much I know what happened, but to not have a family member go through that type of situation, it might be a little difficult to really relate. I think that is easier as a Jewish American because of the Holocaust, because of the stories that you hear from great-grandparents, from great-great-grandparents about what happened to their families in Europe. I think that there is some relatable there are definitely some relatable ties.
I think it's just 94% of U.S. Jews identify as white. White Americans view Jews more positively than members of any other major religion. I think like
He said nothing. I don't think they have to say something.
I
Chad.
think what he was trying to say is that he has like more of a shared cultural association with being Jewish than being white.
Yeah.
Even though he
That's-
identifies
that's totally
as white, he just like associates with being a Jew when it comes to like shared culture, which is totally understandable. And you know, I'm fucking white. Some people say I'm white passing. I say I'm white, but I get it. Like I identify as a Turkish person.
Chad's
makes sense.
primal instinct is to spam question marks and to kind of cook the person for a little bit at first.
White people view Jews more positively than Christians. I think they probably. Actually, it's a really good question. I doubt that they mean like. I don't know if they ask Christians about that as well.
They probably just ask. I mean, I don't know where's this
non-white.
from.
Yeah, the
It's just
non-white,
a-
the non-white religions.
It's
I
just
guess.
a percentage and then like some information.
Yeah. All right, this was the last one. We're done.
No, one more. That dude wasn't
One more?
spicy.
Oh,
That
okay.
dude wasn't that wasn't what I was expecting out of him.
Okay.
Give me one more.
Oh, this is the guy.
The guy from
This
earlier.
is the guy from earlier.
Perfect.
Look at the way,
Hey,
look
it's
at the way his
fucking-
neck is cocked. He's
Yeah,
ready to say
it's
some
fucking
racist
Jason.
shit.
He's about to say some shit over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, why does he look like?
Motherfucker got done watching Spider-Man 3.
Bro,
That's
he's
what
got
happened.
He's got the corduroy. He's got the corduroy jacket on. He is locked and loaded, dude. He's about to say some shit.
He's about to. He fucking combed his hair back. He's fucking ready to go.
He's like a pickup artist, I think.
Let's go.
Do I think it's beneficial for me to be white? Have I gotten any privileges like that? I would say no. Just plain and simple no. I think that, with civil
so
rights and
crazy.
everything, I think a lot of times that other minorities sometimes get more benefits than I would.
Bro, listen, I have to pause this man for a second. Look, dude, first of all, even by virtue of sheer volume of what is considered whiteness or who is considered to be white, you're just seen as like a part of an in-group to more people. So even on that front alone, you just immediately, automatically have that benefit. It's ridiculous. I benefit from looking more white than other Turkish people all the time. It is absolutely a privilege. There's just more white people around. Even on that front, it is still a benefit. Y'all got the same collar? No, we don't. Shut up. Fuck you, dude.
Being a white person, for some reason, some black people kind of hold on to the back in the day, the slave thing, or they feel they're not being treated right. Should slavery
That
be
slave
something
thing.
that, because it happened, we
Whole
owe
thing.
black people something more? Absolutely not. Like I said, it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with black people living today. Maybe their great-great-great-grandmother went through it, someone they never met.
Every black person is a descendant of slaves, is 1.5 generations removed from abject poverty, extreme poverty, for the record. So this notion that it has nothing to do with anything is a fucking ridiculous one. That's before we get to, codified, institutionalized racism that still exists,
But it's in the past. There's been injustices done.
My man say great grandparents. Like, yeah, dude, totally. Just, slavery was abolished and then magically, poof, racism ended there.
Just a
He didn't
slave
even
thing.
do that. He didn't even do the other thing that, like, most racist people do now, at least when they're like, well, the civil rights movement happened. You know what I mean? Like, they moved on.
He skipped right past that
He
shit.
didn't get the updated notes.
He's been saving these comments for a minute.
Fuck. Oh, I hope I don't. I probably got a fucking parking ticket.
In the past, there's been injustices done
Thing again.
forever in human existence. And it's just something that shouldn't happen. But it doesn't mean I owe anyone anything because of it. I think it's hard to talk about race as a white person because I feel like maybe sometimes black people are just looking for a reason to tell you why you're wrong or tell you why you owe them something. If I was in a room full of white people, I would not feel uncomfortable talking about race. But if there were other minorities in that room,
Bruno.
I might think a little bit different, and I might be a little bit more careful.
So he wants
opening
to.
my
So he
mouth
doesn't.
to
So he
not-
feels comfortable talking about race, just not with other races.
I wonder why, dude.
Understood.
Hey,
It is-
how's your white experience going, brother?
What?
How's your white experience? Good? Oh. Hey, I'll see you later. Good talking about race with you, brother.
He's doing the
Good racial talk.
He's doing the thing that you were talking about, Bruno, with Bruno, where he's like, Bruno just like only has been around people that know he's in blackface.
Yeah.
And it's like thinking, well, now I know everything I need to know.
Yeah.
And then like with very limited interactions as a white person in blackface.
Isn't it crazy that those blacks are always talking about that slave thing?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, he literally
Don't get it.
Like this guy is just straight
Weird.
up aware that he's racist.
It's like if it's your history, why would you not talk about it? Like, why would you just ignore it to make someone who's not related to you feel better?
Yeah.
Bro, people in the South.
It's like what?
People in the South got absolutely fucking owned, and they still talk about fucking the Confederacy. It happened for 4 years, dude, and they won't give that shit up. And these motherfuckers are like, but also slavery at the same time. Don't talk about it. Come on, like let's just stop talking about it. They got fucking owned, okay? Like absolutely destroyed, and they still fucking talk about it. It's a L. It's just like, you can't shut the fuck up about your heritage.
But my heritage is supposed to be forgotten, so you feel better.
Motherfuckers hold on. There's someone in the chat said this. Yeah, motherfuckers hold on to their high school victories. Like
facts.
Yeah, and they're just like, well,
what you saying? That slave thing. Come on, man.
Come on.
It's in the past.
Yeah.
Minorities in that room, I might think a little bit different, and I might be a little bit more careful opening my mouth to not offend anyone or to potentially get in an argument or a heated debate.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't care about offending anyone. I think it's the second one where he's like, everybody, all the other white people start looking at him different because they're like, okay, bro, listen, Jason, you're being kind of racist right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like to be called out, so he feels better talking to other people that won't call him out.
You know his favorite song is the song you showed me with LL Cool J.
Oh no, this is a Tom McDonald fan right here.
You don't think he listens to the LL Cool J song? He's like, yeah. Like LL Cool J said. Like LL Cool J once said, you know, I'll forgive your do-rag.
He said like the great LL Cool J said.
Imagine at the end of this dude's interview, just like,
R.I.P. Robert E. Lee.
I'll forgive those gold chains if you stop.
if you forget about this, yeah.
Those iron chains.
Yeah. All right. Okay, this is the last one. We're done. I'm so tired. 6% of white Americans think descendants of... Yo, that number is insane, dude. 6% of white Americans think descendants of slaves should be paid reparations. That's nuts.
6%.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
6 fucking percent. That's so, accurate.
my chat makes up a big sum of that. It's like half of the people in America that think that is in here. Interview was like, yeah, but this interview's about your parking ticket. Why are you talking about reparations? Yeah, that is sad. This was in 2014 though. What, you think people got more woke since 2014 about reparations? What, are you crazy?
No. I like watching stuff from like not this era because it gives, a lot of times they say the same shit. And it's just like, it shows you that there's no, you know,
yeah.
It proves that the main point is not really what they mean.